All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Sunhead Spacecast. We're doing things a little different now. Got Brett here in the Sunhead studio.
What up, what up?
Yeah, so we're doing a fill-in episode because we decided we're going to take like a week to space out our uploads so we get more consistent and we're ahead of the game. So this is what we're doing. And today we're talking about, is Midwest emo dead?
Question mark.
Question mark. We'll find out this episode. So, Midwest emo gives me vibes like no other music does. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's like so nostalgic. It makes you like remember the good days, and I don't like music. Just hasn't had that effect on me
100%.
that Midwest emo does. It's
hit,
weird.
Hit me with like bands to help like group that in, you know?
There's some of the bands that come to mind when I say the term Midwest emo: Charmer, Max Seal, Sport, Glockamora, This Town Needs Guns, and Jank. Some like really kind of underground, but not too underground Midwest emo bands that just like are just super vibey. So we're gonna get into that, but first we want to take a moment to announce today's sponsor of the Sunhead Spacecast. It is Wild Turkey Bourbon, established and founded in 1855. Wild Turkey has been crafting and making Kentucky straight bourbon the right way. One taste and you're hooked.
Amen.
So we'll
Don't taste it unless you want to drink it forever.
So we'll get into that later. But thank you, Wild Turkey Bourbon, for sponsoring Sunhead Spacecast. We appreciate you a lot. And so yeah, let's get into this. So Midwest emo, it's a subgenre of emo. So like a lot of bands like Real Estate and Beach Fossils sometimes are considered Midwest emo. Although there's different genres, you know. There's like indie emo, there's like alternative emo. There's a bunch of emo.
Does the Midwest emo, does that hold to the band being from the Midwest or like playing a lot in the Midwest?
I think it does, because a lot of those bands I just named are from like the Midwest. I know Charmer is from I'm not sure where, but they're like way up in Michigan.
Yeah, somewhere in Michigan.
So I think I think a lot of the bands are from Midwest. I think that's what gives it its name.
Yeah.
But like some of the bands that really spoke to me when I was first getting into this genre was like American Football. You know, Never Meant. You know?
100%.
Yeah. I love that song.
That's one that it's become, I feel like it's one of those things, even if you don't know it, you've seen the picture of it or you've heard the riff because it's that massive a thing.
It's that well known.
So if you're anywhere in the like emo DIY scene of music, you definitely at least know that song and riff by them.
Definitely. I love too that they have their the American Football House on Google Maps. Like you can visit that shit.
That's amazing.
I want to fucking and there. It's like an Airbnb now. You can rent out the American.
I did not know that.
That is fucking sick as hell. I need to do that, dude.
That is
somewhere
sick.
in like Nevada.
That'd be a dope trip.
Maybe.
And then isn't Midwest, man, because we're Midwest technically.
Yeah.
But like then Nevada's also Midwest, so that is a big old. Where is Nevada West? But there. What can we? Yeah, can we get a Google define of
American Football House? Let's get a Google search going.
Then also, what states are classified as Midwest too?
Oh, what? It's in Illinois. That's my bad. Urbana, Illinois. That's still pretty far though.
That's definitely it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on Reddit like, I rented out the American Football House. I threw a banger there.
Yeah,
I just love that you can do that because that house holds so much sentimental value. And
it's millions.
Yeah. And I love that it can just have that effect. Like, just like the introspective, emotional, like raw lyrics and like screams and like the twinkly guitars and just like, I don't even know, dude. It just has that effect. It makes you feel like you're in like this secret club with like all these other emo kids.
Yeah,
and it's so
definitely.
dope.
Definitely just showing up at houses or
Yeah.
raggedy bars, all screaming, getting sweaty together.
It's cool because like I'll get more into like the genres and different vibes of Midwest emo, but something that all right, so I've been listening to Midwest emo for a good like 3 years now, all right? And I started out with Real Estate and Jank and bands like that. And then I got further down the rabbit hole, and what I mean by that is like some of the records that I listen to now classified as Midwest emo are like they just sound like they were recorded in a single car garage, just a bunch of like sweaty college dudes just jamming,
Yeah, taking it
singing
raw.
yeah.
Making it raw.
And that's what I love about it, dude, cuz it gets so just like emotional and raw with it. And I don't think any other genre can like make you feel like it like Midwest emo does to a sense, kind
Yeah.
of.
No,
It's very subjective.
it's own vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Its own vibe for sure. And see, I feel it, and it's funny because Midwest emo before coming on, I like would Citizens totally they're from the Midwest. They're an emo band.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking.
So like, where's it go? Philly? I know that's East Coast, but like modern baseball, a lot of bands from Philly.
I would
and that's so
definitely-
close to. It's just like,
Yeah.
can we see what like even beyond subgenre, what the actual technical Midwest
All
is
right.
in America?
Midwest emo. I'll pull up the Wikipedia. Might give us some insight. But like, yeah, as soon as I pull up the Wikipedia, we got American football, Sunny Day Real Estate. We got Cap'n Jazz, Algernon Cadwallader, just like all these raw bands. But okay, Midwest emo refers to the emo scene and or subgenre that developed in 1990s Midwestern United States. So where's that at?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's
we got
that?
Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. So
Dang.
technically, yeah, Citizen is Midwest emo.
Yeah.
Technically.
that's Salt Creek.
Mhm.
No, Salt Creek. But that's different than how you were saying like Jank and even Hot Mulligan, where it's twinkly with more
Yeah.
of the yelly. Even though, so that's where it's such a genres get crazy, right? Because all the bands you said I know of, but I like never had my emo phase with them. I
Right.
know of them. For
Yeah.
me, it is like Citizen, Salt Creek. Dude, was Philly in that? Was Philly in that?
I'm pretty. No.
Philadelphia
Mm-mm.
wasn't. They're just so close. A lot, so many great. Either way, shout out to a lot of great bands from Philly. Balance, Title Fight.
Yeah, Title Fight. Would you even like classify Title Fight as Midwest emo? I would think so. Like,
It's like to me, they would play in any of those states
Yeah.
in a Midwest emo like house show venue,
Yeah.
and it would be the same vibes as if like another band
yeah,
did.
definitely.
Like it's the same community.
Right.
They're from Philly, but all through the Midwest, they were popping off with a hardcore.
I would say
with
so
an emo
then
vibe.
because it also like depends on the music. Like, take away the the location side of it. Title Fight, when they came out with like Shed, that was Midwest emo as fuck.
Yeah, straight up, and that's like Citizens, Young States too.
Yeah.
Like the OGs of those. Then like
Definitely.
Real Friends, right? They're a pop punk band, very emo, but some of their songs and their earlier ones are way more like just single guitar yelling along. And when it comes to at least those bands, if they do or my own way I put them in, bro, those are definitely some of the most nostalgic, deepest like punches of a particular vibe of music.
Yeah. And I think it's
not
like-
other places take me.
It's kind of different though, because when I talk about well, you see, when I was getting into this music, this wasn't until like 2 or 3 years ago. And I know that you and a bunch of the Tranquility Husk guys, they've been listening to stuff all their lives.
Straight up. And yeah, that's where like I knew you were younger than us,
Yeah.
but I just found out you were 18. So we
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
do
18.
have
Shout out
a
to Wild
6-year
Turkey. I can't even drink it.
a 6-year gap of watching these
Mm-hmm.
bands come up, you know? And so that's where like the more recent years of those bands you shared, I know them all. I know the awesome impact they made.
Yeah.
But if I'm listening to any like emo realm, I'm going back to Citizen,
Right.
Balance,
Yeah.
any
Because you
Title
like
Fight.
grew with
Yeah, those
that.
were because now
Those were really
those are
prominent.
my nostalgic in the years you're
Yeah.
living, the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And I don't really have that because, like, when I was in high school, like beginning of high school, junior high era, I listened to like fucking. I went through an emo phase, right? And it was emo. I had long swooshed hair. It was like bleach blonde.
fudge, yeah.
And you would think I was listening to like Asking Alexandria or like fucking My Chemical Romance. No, I was listening to like EDM shit.
Damn,
So
bro.
I don't. So I didn't fucking like. I didn't get that experience, and I wish I would have gotten into this music more in my younger years. But it's different because when you talk about like the nostalgia of it, you're like kind of taken back to your high school years when you're listening to Citizen, Title Fight, Turnover, Balance, like
Yep.
all these bands that were like going crazy at that time. Maybe not anymore,
Bro,
current day.
or the crazy thing is, here's what's even crazier about it, man. They're going crazier now than they did
Yeah.
then, but they aren't playing the house shows, small venues that made it feel like a little club. So then we watched all these bands. Like I just watched Citizen with Turnstile at the Majestic Theater
Yeah.
or Magic Stick, the bigger one.
Yeah.
And it was massive. They're playing sold out shows like across the whole world.
And I love that Turnstile's finally getting the recognition
Bro,
they
Turnstile's
deserve.
really blown up. But even
Yeah.
same with like Turnover, freaking any of these bands now, not all of them made it. Some of the members like went different ways, but the ones that made it,
Yeah.
they're playing massive shows. So it's not like they aren't killing it. They're just like killing it in the big league. So it doesn't feel like that same
Yeah,
necessarily
that's
like
right,
house
yeah.
show Midwestern
Yeah.
vibe that does
No,
feel
you're
like the
totally
club.
right. I never even like consider that like they're
Like we
still
got to catch
doing
those
great.
bands on their magic of the come up.
But it's still cool to like think about when you were able to like go to those shows when they were just playing like bar shows.
Yeah.
They were just playing like
Citizen
basement
at
shows.
the OT, bro.
Yeah.
Packed out for mine and Evan's birthday show. Like we
Yeah.
went and saw that 3 years straight in that place. At the OT, people like
Mm-hmm.
packed to the max out the doors, looking through the windows. Like it's
Yeah.
just so sick. Now
It's a cool
Citizen,
feeling.
they play that outdoor show, but playing in there like
Mm-hmm.
it just really cool memories. And then with other different bands at like crazy house shows, and it is cool because
And that's like a big part of it is the nostalgia of this kind of music.
Mhm.
That's like what really plays a role in like how you feel about
those
it.
first heartbreaks
Yeah.
when you really like love someone for the
Exactly.
first time and you hear a fellow human saying those words that just
Yup,
rip
yup.
in, and then next thing you know you're sweaty, barely can breathe, holding some homie's shoulders at a show, just like
And
pouring
that's what
your
it's all
heart out.
about because like when Citizen was on the rise, all those people that were like either they went through something or like just heartbroken and they're just like, you know, they had that perspective
Yeah.
and they were introduced to Citizen, and that's just like the coolest thing to me because like when you're at a Citizen show or like any of those bands now, it just feels like you're all family there. Feels like just a bunch of your homies. Just everyone in that audience is just like vibing with you.
Bro, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel that way at 90% of shows I go to.
Yeah.
There's shows that do seem cliquey
Mhm.
that I've like attended, but that's a beautiful thing about music and shows. If you're all seeing a band,
Right.
you could literally be, dude, I love the thought of it. Like it could be a great battle, two people at war, just civilizations,
Mhm.
but they can both love the same music, be caught at the same show, chilling, enjoying the
That's
same thing,
what it's
and
all
never
about to
even
me.
know the war never even happened. It's so sweet.
That's what's so sick about it, dude. But getting back into like the Midwest emo part of it, I feel like it's kind of different because when you talk about like the nostalgic side of it, you're taken back to like the Citizen shows and like seeing Title Fight opening up for Balance and like all that crazy stuff. I know Evan like was a Silver Age and stuff, but like I feel like there's a difference between like having those nostalgic memories of like seeing them live and it's like, oh yeah, I used to listen to this stuff all the time, and then listening to a song that like maybe you've never heard before, but it makes you feel nostalgic.
Yeah.
And that's Midwest emo for me, because when I listen to like Glockamora and like This Town Needs Guns, like just it makes you feel like you miss the memories you've never had before. And that's what I fucking
Isn't
love
that
about
bittersweet as
Yeah.
anything gets?
It's so cool though. That's what I love about it, man. That's what I love about it. And then there's definitely like different vibes of Midwest emo though. Like you can take Charmer for example. I don't know if you like are a big Charmer person, but
I know of Charmer.
when they released their self-titled, they just recorded that in their basement, just like a bunch of college dropouts, just fucking vibing with the music. They released that and then they gained traction, and then they put out another album in 2020, and it was just a lot more mixing, processing, like that modern kind of like, it's still Midwest emo as fuck, but
it's not the same
it's not the
sound that you
same.
get when you're just in the basement in the garage doing it yourself, raw as it
and there's
gets.
definitely a different feel with that.
Bro, but also it's crazy because I know you'd probably love the new stuff too.
Yeah.
That sounds good, and also that does reach a bigger audience because some people's ears, for some reason, they just don't listen to it once it doesn't like sound a certain polished.
Yeah.
So you're stoked for the band, but we were kind of talking about that in the not predicament, but the feeling I'm in with Tranquility is like having it that raw feeling for Midwest emo or just any music, man. Like my personal fave, Bob Marley, just hearing those dudes, like knowing they're in Jamaica, just in the studio, some crazy like mics, just like, or not crazy mics, and that's the crazy thing about it, but like that raw feeling is unbeatable to me compared to the polish.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way.
Because you feel like you're in the garage with those dudes in Charmer when they did that.
Exactly. And it's like, it's not like we're saying, you know, their new stuff is crap. They changed so much and like, you know, it's different. It's different vibe. It sounds different. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like, you can't just have the same sound like your whole discography.
Yeah. It's part of like the band growth too.
Yeah.
Like just natural progression.
Definitely. Like take Title Fight for example. Shed, amazing album, is like my favorite album. Floral Green, even better than Hyperview. They really changed it up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Midwest emo anymore. It was something like,
dude, it's really its own thing. Shoegazy could be a word, but like that album's really its own.
It was very shoegazy, but you could just still tell that they had their roots in the band. Like you could just tell it was like Title Fight.
Yeah, and that's what was amazing. They weren't chasing something; they were just doing them.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, that's where, and like with the quality, one, it's like, yo, if somebody and you have the money to have your music captured forever in the most professional, crisp way, because it doesn't always sound polished, but it's just cleaner. It's like, isn't that the dream? Also at the same time, and it's funny how like. How a lot of times like then the OG fans are like, oh, I love this and that, but dude, it's really it's different for everyone, and I respect how other bands take it because it's actually a hard decision to make too.
It's different for everyone, because when I talk to people about Title Fight or Balance and they're like, yeah, when they did Hyperview or when Balance did Light We Made, it kind of like fell off for me, and I was like, well, that's cool, that's your opinion. Like if you don't fuck with that, like, that's cool.
That's fine, but you're just fucking missing out having a closed mind. Like, just listen to this, like, not just as those bands.
Right.
Listen to it as, like, almost a new band. Like, it's still the same group. You can hear the sounds, right? But, one, I think it's dope when an artist switch up the sound, but, like, why... It's funny how... I know, of course, everyone has their opinion, right? The main idea I'm trying to say is it's almost like just because it is different, they never really listen to it for its own unique thing, you know? Like, to look for that... They were just
expecting something.
And they didn't get it, so they're like, I won't like this.
And that's, I mean, that's, like, cool. I'm not you. Like,
yeah, no,
you can
totally.
do your shit, but, like,
that
fucking
perspective.
go into it with an open mind, bro.
Yeah,
Because
just
it could be
taste it.
dope.
Just taste
It
it
could be
for
dope.
something new, for a new age, and it's
And I'm so glad that I've already had that
Yeah.
perspective with music because, like, dude, when I found Title Fight, I found Floral Green first, and I like Head in the Ceiling Fan, fucking Lefty, just like
Oh yeah, classics.
yeah, classics. And then when I remember I was hanging out with Evan and Sophie and all them, and they were talking about Title Fight, and Evan was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's like not my favorite. I don't know how he feels about it now, but back then he was like, yeah, it's not my favorite. They just really changed up the vibe." And I was like, well, I fucking love Floral Green, and I love this band already, so I'm gonna check it out. And I did. First time tripping. I had no expectations.
Well, you checked out Floor. You knew Floor Green.
I
right?
knew Floral Green.
And did you check out what first time
On
tripping?
the come up Hyperview.
Oh damn!
Yeah, Your Pain Is Mine now.
Yeah,
On the come up.
that's bro. I never listened to any kind of emo on psychedelics. That's
Really?
crazy. No,
You gotta try it.
never.
You gotta try it.
I'm sorry, bro. No way,
Why not?
dude. Why?
It's
Those
so
are
tight.
portals that I'm just not trying to open on mushrooms, dude.
I can totally respect that.
Dude, because that's deep. That shit tears me open when I'm not on psychedelics.
Yeah.
Being on psychedelics, bro.
Amplifies it 10 times more.
Yeah, and Your Pain Is Mine now. Just anything like, dude. I mean, it's sweet. I'm happy for you that you're a warrior and
Yeah.
did that. But no, I have the good vibes coming through the speakers. Anything that could be good, bright, and positive, I have myself around
Well,
while tripping.
maybe I should take that into account
'Cause
that trip was not good.
Dude, it's because you were like, hey, let's dive into like my deepest sorrows as I enter the deepest magical
Your pain
experience.
is mine
of my-
now. He's talking about like some heartbreak shit, and I'm just like,
Yes, you're
What the
opening
fuck?
your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's just that's everyone like totally cool. I don't know what I'm trying to say other than simply that's crazy.
yeah, it was crazy. Like when I heard the intro, I was like, man, this is gonna be cool. I can't wait to like rock out.
Bro, and I love that album, bro. But listening to something like that while tripping, man, like it's just, man, that's just inviting some demons to come hang out, bro.
I guess I did because that trip sucked. That trip sucked, bro.
Right, just like the
I
parallels.
was listening to that fucking album. I go in the bathroom and I look at myself in the mirror, and then it all goes
Bro,
down.
yeah, dude. That's why Sticky Fingers. It's honestly why I partially love them so much.
See,
One of
I've
the first
never
times,
listened to Sticky Fingers while tripping.
bro. One of the first times, and when I loved the band because I've heard of them. I
Yeah.
was on LSD for my first time, and they came up through my YouTube. Both showed me them previously.
Yeah.
That man Tosh, 2 songs, but then I saw them and I was tripping. I stopped and I fell in to all their music videos. This one song, Slow. I played it like 20 times, bro, because I
Oh,
was like,
damn.
holy
So do you
shit.
think that like
It like
listening
changed
to that?
my life forever.
Okay, yeah. So do you think that listening to that on like it's like we're getting kind of off topic here.
Yeah.
But like this is
I've never said
is
this out
dope.
loud to realize
this is
it.
dope like to talk about. So do you think that like taking LSD and listening to that like 20 times, like you said it was life changing, it's just crazy experience. Do you think that that has anything to do with like how tied you are to them to this
Bro,
day?
I could almost cry saying it. Yeah, I think so. I've
Really?
never realized it because that was my first time. That LSD, like I've said, I'm a mushroom guy over LSD, but that was one of the most positive experiences I had ever while on that trip. And listening to them, bro, because I've never experienced LSD. I did the 8 grams mushrooms, which was
Yeah.
crazy, but LSD was its own thing because I was not on the ground like, duh. I was actually experiencing this psychedelic
Yeah.
feeling. And it was so overwhelming. And dude, I'll play it for you after.
Yeah.
We're here through
We'll
the
do it.
speakers when we're done. Song Slow, bro. It's called Slow. And man, it made everything okay. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think like subconsciously I hold on to that so dearly to like
That's
help
so
me
cool,
during
though,
such a
dude.
deep time.
That's so cool how it can have that effect on you though. That's sick. Yeah, I haven't like
So yeah, listening to Title Fight or
listen-
something on psychedelics, I could see how like fucking this is I guess I'm gonna think about my like heartbreaks while I'm in this mindset.
definitely wasn't the intention.
No, I get it. I get it. But hey, you learn. You learn from life.
I
And
learned.
that's a warrior thing too, because
Yeah.
like even though that wasn't fun, no doubt it helped you ultimately.
Definitely. If I don't see it now, like we were talking about this on the first time you were on the podcast, just me and you chatting it up. Like when I told you about my first trip and how I saw like the lions form from the stars, you were like, you said something. You said like it could take a lifetime to figure out what that actually means.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, you know what, dude, that's so true. Like I probably don't realize it now, but that could be showing me something so valuable.
And then in the moment, the big
Right.
lion flag I have in my room was staring at
dude,
you.
and that was
And it was such a slap
That
in the
was
face
it.
because it's like the thing you want to learn forever
Yeah.
that you're always processing to learn through these trips is always right in front of your face. And as you said it,
that
it was
is
like
the
right
trip.
there.
That's the trip.
Bro, that is the trip. That's life. Cheers to it, bro. That's a
Cheers to
secret
it.
of reality.
Check
We
out that-
told y'all.
yeah,
Like,
check out that
it's
episode. It's not on Tranquil TV, but Sunhead Spacecast on Spotify. Check out that episode.
Yeah, that was a
because
great
that
talk,
was a
man.
great talk. It was like 3 hours of just like going. I gotta listen to that again,
Bro,
dude.
we should. Yeah, that was a good one. That
Yeah.
was a good one.
We got to do that again.
You have a
But-
lot of good talks that aren't on Tranquil TV. That'd be cool to
Yeah.
like just put audio versions only
Yeah,
on
if you
there.
yeah, we can do that for
That'd be
sure.
really
I know we
cool.
had a couple
Just with
cool
the
guests.
graphic with the space moving as
Yeah.
it's going. Yeah, because you
Let's
had
do
one
that,
with some
yeah.
homies. You and Evan had one. That talk was great.
And then like Bert, Gage, and Nick. That was like the best podcast I've ever done. So we
Yeah.
need to put that on
Yeah,
there.
we'll
bro.
make that happen, bro.
But yeah, so we kind of strayed away from it. But it's kind of honestly difficult to talk about this, just like Midwest emo, because everyone has different experiences and different vibes towards it, and different like, you
Yeah,
know,
it started
they-
in the '90s too.
Yeah.
So there's bands we will like
Mhm.
30-year-olds ish would say that we'd
Yeah.
be like, "Who's that?" You know, and it's like
Right.
theirs, and they could hear a new song from Charm or someone. It would take them back to that same feeling, like you said.
That's true. Yeah, that's really true. It's just like we can talk about it and I can talk about my experience, but that's all I can do. All I can do is be like, you know, Midwest emo, the more raw it gets, the more emotionally attached I feel to the song. But in reality, like, it's your own thing, man. Like, it's your music taste.
100%.
Like, just like do you. So
And that leads us to the question, though. And just for the sake of it, I'm gonna make sure that's still rolling. We don't have a camera guy here to help, so we're gonna make sure the
yeah,
audio's still
we'll
rolling.
make sure. But yeah,
So the question is: Midwest emo dead?
is it dead?
Is it dead? What's your thoughts on it, bro?
So, my thought is plain and simple. I won't get into it yet, but as of now, right now, I truly believe that Midwest emo is dead. It sucks, but when I listen to the bands that I consider Midwest emo, none of them are around anymore. And if they are around, personally, the music they've been putting out, not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really Midwest emo anymore. It's kind of just like alternative, like maybe some twinkly guitars in the background, but it's not like you're in the basement with your homies singing about how your mom left.
Yeah.
Like, that's what really gives it that emotional value to me. And if you are listening to this, anyone listening to this right now, and you have heard any new records or tracks, hit me up, because I've just been listening to the things that have been put out in like the early 2000s. I haven't heard anything present day that's been like, oh, dude, this is Midwest emo as fuck. Like, this is, I want to cry to this right now. But I haven't heard anything like that so far. I think it's gone. And maybe, and you know what? That to me is the beauty of it. Because, yeah, it may not still, that genre of music may not still be alive today, but we can still listen to the fucking bangers that have been put out in the past.
Best
and
part about music, man.
And we were
Truly
talking
timeless.
about like nostalgia and shit, and like going back and listening to that just makes you feel like you're a part of something, you know?
Yeah.
So, in my personal opinion, I do think that Midwest emo is dead. But I don't know, like, what do you think about it? I know you're not into Midwest emo as much as I am, but just like kind of your perspective on it from what we talked about it.
So, I agree with all the points you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take the opposite stance of I think it's still alive.
Really?
Here's why.
Elaborate.
One of the reasons.
Mm.
You said those records still exist.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, some kids in the Midwest can hear them. They're probably out there now, and we don't know them because they only have played a couple shows, right? That are going to recreate in their own way what they want. So right now, those records are still living, and it's only a matter of years and us just maybe even figure out in the next couple hours or someone drops something like y'all have missed this record by this band to find out, you know? So that's one reason why I would say yes.
I do agree with that, actually. I'm not trying to change my answer here, but I'm trying to change my answer.
And that's just me
here.
giving the hope of it. I get as a fan feeling the no.
Yeah.
It's just like once you said they are still alive, it's like sooner or later someone's bound to come through and keep making those gems for the heartbreaks, because where part of the no would be, and I do feel the no, and just like watching a lot of the bands I love evolve, and it's even if their songs are sadder, they aren't the same deep sorrow of Midwest emo. Right. Midwest emo is so dark, right? A lot of these bands and what you watch a lot of these people grow into has light in their music, which isn't bad. It's actually a really good thing to see bands and people you love grow to start making music that has, even if it's sad or some uplifting punch.
Positive, like, aspirations.
Yeah, it's like good to just know, like, people out there, like, because cool. they've grown up, they're over that heartbreak isn't killing them anymore. Right. But there's people out there with heartbreak killing them, because that's not going away anytime soon. It's just a matter of, like, them putting it out, us finding it, or just catching that wave again of people who are feeling it, you know?
I'm really glad that you came and talked about this, because you're giving me a lot of perspective here. Like, as a person, we've all, like, as people, we've all gone through something. And for me, music has always been my, like, crutch for that kind of stuff. So when I found Midwest emo, I was in that dark place. And I think that's why I gravitated towards it so much. But we mature over time, and we get better over time. So yeah, I still hold that genre close to my heart, because I like was going through it, and that music, that music spoke to me.
It saved all of us, bro.
Yeah,
honestly, getting real deep. So many people have freaking bad thoughts, and that music is saving their bad thoughts. Because as much as I love Mod Son, and he helped pull me out in his own way with his positive hippie rap, there was days I didn't want to fucking hear how life's good. I needed someone to tell me, hey, it sucks. I'm there too.
And that's exactly what Midwest emo does for people, bro.
Sometimes it is. But really, it's a good thing. And like, even with Charmer, Jank, the band you shared, like I'd hear it and it would take me there, right? And you'll probably feel it the next couple of years too. Like, I love the bands that were nostalgic for me, because they helped me and saved me there. And now their songs, I don't feel them as emotional as much as pure, like, I made it through it and the song still fucking just sounds so good.
Definitely.
And it's also, like, good for your own self. Let's say, like, you get hit up and there's more Midwest emo bands out there than we realize, and it's not really your taste as much, or in the next couple years it's not. Yeah. Honestly, good for you. Because, like, that means your perspective's gravitating towards something that
definitely you're just growing, like, as a person, pretty much.
And doesn't mean all those music, or especially the ones you love, you're not always gonna love. But it is cool to grow up and not be caught in that same heartbreak. The heartbreak changes. You at least have light at the end of the tunnel. When you're a kid and shit's bad, shit's just bad.
Feels like
you don't know how to find the light.
There's no way out, pretty much. But like, I feel like that's another thing with it too. When we ask the question, is Midwest emo dead? That's very subjective. Like, it may not be alive in us, but for those other kids, they're going through shit. Like, that music is like helping them. It's saving them. So I'm going to
That's
change
what's so
my answer
beautiful.
here. I do think it's still alive. I just changed my answer mid-podcast. Fucking suck it,
Bro,
bro.
that's the
That's
best part,
the
man.
beauty
Wanna
of
know why? 'Cause I think it's
hosting.
fucking dead. That genre is out of here, bro. No one jams that
Come on,
shit.
man. Fucking don't do this to me here, bro.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So,
I love it. I
yeah.
respect all those bands. Dude, it's so cool, man, because kids are out there playing shows we'll never be at with their 10 to
Yeah.
15 friends, just singing the songs that only 20 of them know, too. Like,
Right.
know what I mean? So, like, at all the different sizes, it's pumping somewhere.
Yeah. It's pumping somewhere. And those bands who are influenced by other bands like Title Fight and like Jank and Charmer, they're going to do their own stuff. And then that wave of kids is going to find that, and it's just going to keep going. And it may not be prominent as it was back in the 2000s and early like 1980s and all that stuff, but
Give
it
a
is
couple
it
years.
is still it's still thriving. Like the music business is still thriving, and like, you know, these bands, they're onto something. And I think, yes, I am changing my answer. Midwest emo is alive.
It's alive and
it's
good.
alive.
It's saving lives.
So we may
helping
not
people grow.
feel the same as other people do, but I think that it's all up to the bands and people now. It may not be prominent, but, you know, there's going to be kids who are like, yeah, this shit's tight. Let's fucking start a band and do this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Let's get vulnerable.
yeah. Let's trip to some
share
title
our
fight.
feelings.
I fucking love that. Let's share our feelings. And that's what I love about it. And just one more thing before we wrap it up, today's episode. I want to talk about like kind of the iceberg of Midwest emo, almost like tip of the iceberg. You got real estate, you got Hot Mulligan, kinda modern baseball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bands that are on the come up now. Maybe even Citizen, since they are technically Midwest emo. But what I love about it is how far it can go down.
Yeah. And that's where it gets trippy.
Yeah.
That's where it just gets trippy of like, man, genres are nuts. Because it's
Yeah.
like, they're hanging everywhere.
There are no limits.
Genres are nuts
Yeah.
because they're hanging everywhere.
I didn't fucking catch that the first time you said that, damn it. What the? I'm going to use that shit. I'm going to use that shit.
You put that shit on a t-shirt, bro.
Oh, I'm going to find it on tranquil.com, Creating Harmony. We got the
Almost.
nuts and ballsack t-shirt design for you. But yeah, that's what I love about it. Like when we were talking about how raw it can get with just like a bunch of teenagers starting a band, recording just like fucking one mic in their single car garage. Yeah. That's how raw it gets. And then, you know, there's like the in-betweens, the like Charmer, where there's still like mixing and processing going on, but it still feels so raw. But then, bottom of the iceberg, I think I found it a week ago because I came across this song by a band called Midwest Pen Pals. And I just wanted to share this because this fucking impacted me for like no reason. I'm astounded by it. Midwest Pen Pals. I think they have only one song out, and it's called Movies Like Juno. And it's about it's literally a bunch of brothers who made a band, like screaming about how their mom left. And that just impacted me so much because I was like, dude, they're fucking doing this shit. Damn. Like, they feel this way. They don't give a shit about like recording in a professional space. They were just like, you know what, let's fucking write a song and sing about our most like emotional times. And that, like, my mom's still here. I love my mom. I didn't lose her, but like in that moment when I was listening to that track, I was like, fuck, dude. Yeah, you could like feel that pain. And that's something that I love about music. It can be any genre, but if it makes you feel the way they want you to feel, that's some cool shit. That's some cool shit. And I felt that my first live show ever, Tranquility, Husk, sick as fuck, birthday show.
Oh, that was the first show.
First show of my life.
Dude, What an honor to be a part of.
Yeah, man. And I felt that. You guys gave me that. That was so fucking cool.
Bro,
and
hit these nuts. That's awesome.
hit these nuts. So, yeah, that's just, I wanted to get into that. Check that out. Movies Like Juno by Midwest Pen Pals. If you're into that, if you're not, that's cool too, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get though some people who also don't want to feel what it feels like to have their mom away. Some people are very open emotionally, and that's a dark place to go.
Definitely,
it's cool. You can.
I just thought it was really cool because I've never heard a song that was able to be like, to make me feel like shit, my whole life is crashing down. And then as soon as the song ends, I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually cool now.
I'm so glad I'm not in their shoes.
Jesus Christ, bro. Oh my fucking God. Sucks to be them. Anyways.
Hey, dude, we're sending prayers, man.
That's so funny. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to get into. Please, any Midwest Emo fans out there, hit me up, nlaytart on Instagram, or Sunhead Spacecast on Instagram as well. And just submit some songs, dude, because, like, I'm a big Midwest Emo fan, and I got a big-ass playlist, like 14 hours worth of Midwest Emo. If you think I know, right? If you think I missed a record, or you just, like, really want to share this, yeah, you can submit it. I'll put a link actually in the Spotify thing. Just submit a song, and I'll check it out. But that is the fill-in episode for this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Brett.
Next week.
Next week we are gonna have Tranquility.
Me and the other boys. We did the live session.
Yep, we recorded the live session yesterday. It's gonna be tight, and yeah, we're going to be uploading more consistently now that we can just do it anywhere. I mean, we're in my basement right now in the studio, so
I want to shout out the people listening on the podcast. Make sure go check out Tranquil TV. If you're on Tranquil TV checking out this conversation, check out all our vids. We got the first Tranquil Tuesday episode up. Yeah. That's going to be showing the behind the scenes of all this really cool stuff bi-weekly. Got a whole bunch of music videos. Dude, we're doing lots of cool stuff. So check it out.
We're legit now. So if you guys enjoy it, if you guys listen to this, like, check out the channel, man, and then drop a rating on whatever you're listening to. We're officially available on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. So we're fucking doing this. Last thing we want to talk about, just give another quick shout out to our sponsor, Wild Turkey Bourbon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show, and check them out because it's fucking good. I wouldn't know because I'm 18.
Yeah, but I drink it all the time.
But I'm speaking for Brett, so
because I love bourbon.
Yeah,
I love it. The whiskey.
He loves it.
I'm not sure if whiskey's a bourbon. Either way, we love Turkey Tail. Turkey.
I'm only 18, guys.
What's the name?
Can't.
I'm sorry, Turkey Tail.
Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey. We love it. Pick it up. Thanks for sponsoring us. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Like and subscribe.
And check out all of our other shit. And thanks for listening, guys.
We'll be back.
Yeah. Love you guys. See ya.